Components of internal combustion engine. An automobile engine is built with different components of different sizes having their various intended functions. Car engines are contained around a sealed, resilient metal cylinder. It contains as many as 16 cylinders, but most modern vehicles have between 4 and 8 cylinders. The modern version of the engine parts combines both mechanical and electrical components. 1. Cylinder. These automobile engine parts are located in the engine block, also known as the cylinder block. It contains a liner or sleeves around it. This liner is worn out when subjected to work and can be easily replaced. The cylinders have part or space for the piston to move upward and downward, making the combustion take place. 2. Piston. The piston moves up and down in the cylinder, facilitating the complete combustion cycle. It has 3 rings, 2 compression rings and 1 oil ring to prevent wear and ensure proper functioning. 3. Crankshaft. These parts of your engine help to convert the sliding motion from the piston into rotary motion via the connecting rod. It is located below the cylinder block inside a casing called the crankcase. The crankshaft has projections bent and offset from the shaft axis. In a multi-cylinder engine, each cylinder is provided with its own crank pin, provided to attach the piston by the connecting rod. 4. Connecting rod. The connecting rod connects the piston to the crankshaft, converting linear motion to rotary motion. It has a piston pin at one end and attaches to the crank pin journal at the other end. The bearing caps hold the big end in place, allowing for rotational movement. If you have found this video to be interesting, just a friendly reminder to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and let's continue with the video. 5. Cylinder head. These engine parts serve as a cover for the cylinder block, valve, rocker arms, and ignition element. It is bolted to the cylinder block with the head gasket in between. In an overhead camshaft engine, the camshaft is placed in the head with the absence of a pushrod arrangement for the valve mechanism. 6. Camshaft. This internal combustion engine component is a shaft containing a cam fitted on it. Its function is to control the valves directly by sitting over them or through the rocker arm and pushrod mechanism. The valve timing is determined by the size of the camshaft. That is, the opening and closing of valves are governed by the camshaft, which is mounted on the crankshaft either directly through a reduction gear or indirectly through a pulley and a timing belt. 7. Valves. Valves is known as poppet valves on IC engines. It is made of a long, thin, circular rod named a valve stem and a flat circular disc called a valve head, which is tapered along the thin rod. The function of the valve is to enable a valve for a fresh intake of fuel and air and the release of waste gases. Exhaust. The opening and closing of the valve are caused by the sliding motion of the camshaft and the associated linkages. 8. Rocker arm. This internal combustion engine part plays an important role as it transmits the rotary motion of the cam or crankshaft through a tappet latch and converts it into a linear motion of the valve stem, helping in depressing the valve head. 9. Crankcase. These internal combustion engine components are located below the cylinder block containing the bearings that rotate the crank. This main bearing is a sliding bearing with an adequate oil supply in it. 4-cylinder inline petrol engines contain 3 bearings in the crankcase, 1 at each end and 1 in the middle, while diesel engines have 5 main bearings, 1 at each end and 1 between each cylinder. 10. Oil pump and sump. The function of the oil pump is to pump the oil to various parts of the engine for proper lubrication, cleaning, and cooling. The oil pump in the engine is driven by the crankshaft gear. The oil is pressurized to various parts of the engine components, which helps in lubricating and cooling the system. Other automobile engine components are the electrical ones, which will be discussed in another video. The electrical part of an engine includes alternator, starter motor, spark plug, electronic fuel injector, ignition coil, etc. If this video was very informative, go hit the like and subscribe button right now. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions or thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.